Are you a Cheez-It addict and do you need to go into a rehab program? No! What is up, guys? Welcome back to episode 4 of the Q&A series. We're doing the Diggly Darn thing for Quattro. It's a thing. How you guys doing? Welcome back. Thank you guys for your support as always. If you guys missed episode 1, 2, or 3, definitely recommend you guys peep it. It was probably a good episode. I haven't edited them yet or put them together yet, but I'm assuming they're good. I'm going to give myself the benefit of the doubt. Thank you guys for your support as always. In case you guys don't know what's going on, I'm currently out of town. Your boy's gone. Your boy is not home right now as you guys are seeing this. So I'm trying to prep a bunch of content. Unfortunately, though, we don't have any solo projects or collaborative projects going on right now. So I'm filling in the gaps with a bunch of one-off content. But anyways, continuing on here with the questions. Did you eat all of those boxes of Cheez-Its? Well, it's funny you say that because this box was full and it spilled all over my floor. Look at this. Look at there are Cheez-Its in there, and now there are Cheez-Its on my floor. So long story short, some of them are full. Some of them do have Cheez-Its in them. Most do not, because your boy's a hungry boy. But some of them definitely do, as you can see, like right there's a little pile of Cheez-Its that I now need to clean up. Tom said, what is one thing you like or admire or even respect about each of your brothers? I thought I'd ask you something different, but off topic from your content, yet positive at the same time. Yo, that's actually a really, really great question. In case you guys don't know, I have two brothers, Dominic and Nicholas. Nicholas, he is a athletic, he's like literally the total opposite of me. He's super athletic, he plays a bunch of hockey, and that's actually part of the reason why I'm going to be gone for so long, because we're going to one of his hockey tournaments in Chicago. But anyways, in terms of things that I like or admire or even respect, I respect Nicholas's dedication. Like he's really focused, right, on hockey, and he's also like really outgoing at the same time. He can be a jerk sometimes, but he's very focused. He's very like, he's very focused on what he wants to do. In terms of Dominic, he's also very focused like that. He does a lot of flips. Like he's very into like gymnastics right now and stuff. Like that's currently his passion. I respect Dominic's like similar opinions, or not opinion, but interests to me. Like I'm not super into like the whole flipping thing, but he's like super into Pokemon. He's super into like kind of that nerdy stuff, like solving Rubik's Cubes and stuff like that. And I really relate to that, so I respect him and admire him for that. But yeah, thank you for the question. That's a very interesting question, very different question. I did not expect that coming out of this Q&A, to be totally honest. HeatleyBros said, what's it like being young and relatively successful on YouTube? It's actually really nice. It's really, really awesome. I really appreciate everybody who goes out of their way to support me like you guys do. It's incredible. It really is, because it allows me to do what I love while in high school. I'm extremely grateful because a lot of my friends, you know, after school, they immediately go to like their job at Subway or their job at Cracker Barrel or whatever it may be, and they don't necessarily like it. But for me, I'm able to come home from school and sit down in my desk chair and do what I love, and entertain you guys and just have a grand old time without having to worry about having to get a job at Subway or having to get a job at Cracker Barrel or Chick-fil-A or whatever it may be. You know, I'm able to basically avoid all of those teenager first stage jobs, which honestly it might not be for the best. Considering like, you know, future resumes and stuff like that. Like I'm not gonna have any traditional working experience to put down there. But all in all, I'm really, really grateful, and I'm really, really happy that I'm able to do this as opposed to anything else. It's just so much fun. It's my passion, and it's so much more fulfilling than working at anywhere else, you know? So yeah, thank you for your question, man. I really appreciate it. The Weirdo Drew said, do you think you will do a series with people out of the friend group and the game I'm making? Are you going to do a stream series for it or a video series? If it's a stream series, hit me up in DM so we can talk about that, because I will need to. Okay, first and foremost, thank you for your question. Second and foremost, do I think I will do a series with people out of the friend group? Probably. Like I would absolutely love to do more series and more collabs with more people out there. Like that's definitely on my list. The only thing about that is that I feel like in order to do a really good collab, in order to properly network with somebody and commentate with somebody, you have to have that chemistry. You know, like me and Vinny, we have that chemistry. Me and Ryan, we have that chemistry. And me and Dylan, we have that chemistry as well. It's because of the fact that we've been talking for such a long time, and we know each other, and we're friends first, and then we work with each other, you know? That I feel is essential to any collab. Like, you gotta have that chemistry, you gotta be able to bounce off each other, and that would be my only concern with like working with other people outside the friend group, because outside the friend group I don't really talk to too many other content creators. Like, obviously I have acquaintances here and there, but I'm not like super in tune with a lot of people in the community. So for the most part, I would want to get to know that person better before actually doing a collab, just because the chemistry really does help. And in terms of the game you're making, first and foremost, thank you for making a game that's absolutely incredible. I would most likely do a live stream of it. That would be like my most likely go-to goal for it, mainly because in terms of video projects, I have our next projects for each type of content more or less figured out. And I don't think I'd have enough time to add another video project on top of that in the near future. So it'd probably be a stream LP. Let me know what you need to let me know about that in the DMs, and I got you. Britton Guard said, what do you recommend getting for a starter editing rig? In terms of computers, in case you guys don't know, I am a huge nerd when it comes to PCs and building them and specs and all that great kind of stuff. So I'm very happy to answer this question. It really just depends on how much you're able to spend. Like, that really is what it comes down to. I would highly recommend getting as many cores as possible on your CPU, because that's really going to go a long way in terms of helping render times and stuff like that. You want to prioritize cores over clock speed. Obviously, you don't want to like totally sacrifice your clock speed, but if you were to choose between like a 4.0 4-core CPU and like a 12-core 3.4 gigahertz CPU, just metaphorically or theoretically, that's the right word, or hypothetically, that's the even more right word, I would go with the higher core count, just because it's going to help a lot with multitasking. In terms of RAM, you want to get as much RAM as possible, but after a certain point, it kind of becomes excessive. Like, I wouldn't say go above 64 gigs unless you're like really going insane with it. Like, even 64 gigs is overkill. Like, I have 32 in my system and it works just fine. In terms of GPU, you want to probably go with the NVIDIA side of things. AMD is making GPUs too, but AMD's GPUs are, I mean, I haven't really had much on-hand experience with them, but I'd really recommend an NVIDIA GPU. I have a 1080 Ti and it works flawlessly. But you could also look into like the 1070 or the 1070 Ti or the 1080. They're all awesome cards, and I would highly recommend that. So it really just comes down to figuring out how much you're willing to spend and what you can get for that price. I would highly recommend the website PC Part Picker. It's a fantastic site for looking up specs, figuring out what parts are compatible, and it's just a great overall website. Next up, we got Lobster Bisque with the question of, why do you suck at Pokemon? You know, that's a fantastic question, and honestly, I don't know. You would think after 4.5 years of doing Pokemon content professionally, hey guys, your boy would be kind of a master at Pokemon. But no, I still suck at it. I only played competitive for like a year or two, so maybe that's why. Maybe if I was still in the competitive game, that would have helped me out a little bit. But yeah, I'm just here to entertain. I'm just here to have a good time. Blue said, maybe do a Soul Link versus with you and Dylan versus Ryan and Vinny. Versus Ryan and Vinny. Oh, so like me and Dylan would be paired up and Ryan and Vinny would be paired up? I mean, honestly, the more likely series that we would want to do is Ryan and Dylan paired up, and then me and Vinny paired up, because we're like the two respective Soul Link pairs going at it with a versus. We've talked about this before, and we would absolutely love to do a project like this, but literally it just comes down to scheduling, trying to get 4 different schedules to work together. We all have very different schedules, and getting that all to work together for a series like that would be incredibly difficult. But if we're able to pull it off, which one day I'm sure we'll be able to, I would absolutely love to do that, and we would love to bring that out for you guys, or put that out for you guys. With that being said, though, I think we've reached the end of the list. 72 responses to this tweet. You guys are insane. Thank you so much for supporting what I do. Thank you so much for supporting the content. Thank you so much for leaving questions. You guys are incredible. I really appreciate it. Your support on just everything has been awesome. But with that being said, hopefully this last part wasn't too short. I'm really crossing my fingers. I'm looking at the time code right now. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. But you guys are awesome. Thank you for your support. Thank you for sticking with me through this one-off October, this period of time where we're not really going to have too much traditional content. After this, I'm going to try and record some more stuff for you guys, some more one-off stuff that's not necessarily just Q&As, because I'm going to be gone for a little bit, so we'll see what happens with that. But you guys are incredible. Thank you for watching as always. And I will see you dudes next time. Peace! Hey, also, if you guys want to see more Q&As in the future, let me know because I would absolutely love to do more of these. Anyways, I'll see you dudes. Bye!